Hello and welcome back to The Game On. I'm Hannah Morales, and joining me today, as always, is our brilliant football analyst, Gaffers Gezelsees. Gaffer, it's been a whirlwind summer, hasn't it?
It certainly has, Hannah. And if there's one story that's dominating headlines right now, it's the absolute roller coaster at Manchester United. From blockbuster signings to a so-called bomb squad, Ruben Amorim is shaking things up at Old Trafford like never before. It's dramatic, it's intense, and it's got every United fan on the edge of their seat.
Absolutely, Gaffer. The transfer window is always a chaotic time, but this summer feels like Manchester United are playing a high-stakes poker game. Let's dive right into the heart of it. Alejandro Garnacho, Jadon Sancho, Anthony, and Tyrell Malacia. 4 players who've been left out of United's preseason tour of the United States. They're up for sale, but Amorim's made it clear he's not letting them go cheap. What's your take on this, Gaffer?
Hannah, this is classic Manchester United drama, isn't it? Ruben Amorim is laying down the law, and I love the steel in his approach. He's essentially said, look, these players can go if the price is right, but don't think you're getting a bargain just because we're under pressure. It's a bold stance, especially when you consider United have already spent £140 million on Brian Mbeumo, Mateus Cunha, and Diego Leon. That's not pocket change. Amorim's trying to balance the books while building a squad in his image. But he's also sending a message. If these players stay, they'll have to fight for their place.
That's a key point, Gaffer. Amorim is not just waving a white flag and letting these players walk out the door. He's talked about reintegrating them if the right offers don't come in. Let's start with Alejandro Garnacho. He's only 21, an academy graduate with bags of potential, but it seems like his time at United could be nearing an end. What's gone wrong for him?
Oh, Hannah, Garnacho's situation breaks my heart a bit. This is a lad who burst onto the scene with so much promise, electric pace, fearless dribbling, and a knack for game-changing moments. But it seems like there's been a clash with Amorim. Reports suggest it started with a disagreement early in Amorim's tenure, something about Garnacho not following instructions during a Europa League match against Victoria Pleasant. He was dropped for the Manchester derby, trained away from the first team, and then his comments after being left out of the Europa League final against Tottenham didn't help. Amorim's a disciplinarian, and he's clearly trying to reset the culture at United. Garnacho's talent isn't in question, but his attitude might be.
It's such a shame to see a young talent like Garnacho on the outs, and the price tag has dropped significantly from £70 million in January to around £35 to £40 million now. Chelsea, Aston Villa, Napoli, and Bayern Munich are circling, but Amorim's warned that rival clubs might be in for a surprise if they think they can get a lowball United. Do you think United are right to let him go, or is this a risk that could come back to haunt them?
It's a massive gamble, Hannah. Letting an academy product like Garnacho go, especially at 21, could be one of those decisions United regret for years. Look at Scott McTominay thriving at Napoli after leaving United, or even Anthony Elanga banging in goals for Newcastle. Garnacho's got more dribbles, take-ons, and progressive passes than Elanga over the last 2 seasons, and he's younger. If he goes to a club like Napoli or Bayern and fulfills his potential, United fans will be fuming. But from Amorim's perspective, it's about building a squad that buys into his vision. If Garnacho's not on board, it's better to cash in now, especially since his sale would be pure profit under profit and sustainability rules.
That's a great point about the financial side, Gaffer. United are under pressure to raise funds after their big spending, and selling an academy player like Garnacho would help. But let's move on to Jadon Sancho. He's another high-profile name on the chopping block, and with his contract expiring next summer, there's talk of a potential loan move. What's the latest on him?
Sancho's situation is a bit different, Hannah. He's 25 now, and after a roller coaster few years at United, think the fallout with Erik ten Hag, the loan to Borussia Dortmund, and now this, it feels like his time at Old Trafford is done. He reached a Champions League final with Dortmund last season, which shows he's still got the quality. But United are open to a loan move because his contract's running down. The problem is no one has bitten yet. Clubs are hesitant, probably because of his £300,000 a week wages and United's valuation. Amorim's stance is clear. Meet the price or he stays and fights for his place.
It's wild to think that a player of Sancho's caliber could be on the move again, especially after showing what he can do at Dortmund. And then there's Anthony, who spent last season on loan at Real Betis. United are holding firm at a 45 million euro fee, but clubs are balking at that price. Is Anthony's time at United over, or could he still have a future there?
Antony's a tricky one, Hannah. When United signed him for £85 million in 2022, the expectations were high sky, but he struggled to live up to that price tag. His loan spell at Real Betis showed flashes of brilliance, but not enough for clubs to meet United's €45 million valuation. Amorim's comments about reintegrating players suggest Antony could still have a chance, especially with the World Cup looming. Players know they need game time to make their national teams, so Antony might knuckle down if he stays. But honestly, I think United would prefer to cash in and move on.
And let's not forget about Tyrell Malacia, the Dutch left back who's been plagued by injuries. He's been out of the picture for a while, but Amorim's included him in this bomb squad. What's the thinking behind that, Gaffer?
Malacia's inclusion feels more pragmatic than personal, Hannah. He's been sidelined by injuries for nearly 2 seasons, and United need players who can contribute now. Amorim's system relies on wingbacks who can bomb forward and defend, and with Malacia's fitness issues, he's a question mark. United are probably testing the market to see if anyone will take a punt on him. If not, Amorim's ready to bring him back into the fold, but it's a low-risk move to put him up for sale, given his limited impact recently.
It's fascinating how Amorim's handling this. He's balancing the need to raise funds with maintaining squad depth, all while trying to instill a new culture. Let's pivot to the big story that's got everyone talking. Marcus Rashford's loan move to Barcelona. This is huge, Gaffer. He's the first Englishman to play for Barca since Gary Lineker in 1986. How did this deal come together?
Hannah, this is one of the most audacious moves of the summer. Rashford's journey to Barcelona is like something out of a Hollywood script. He was frozen out at United, stripped of his squad number, training alone and told to stay away from Carrington. But instead of sulking, Rashford played his cards right. He trained privately in Marbella, worked on his fitness, and even gave a cheeky interview to a Spanish influencer saying he'd love to play with Lamine Yamal. Barcelona saw an opportunity. A 27-year-old in his prime, available on loan with no huge fee up front, and they pounced. The deal includes an option to buy for around £26 million, and Barca are covering his wages. It's a low-risk move for them, and for Rashford, it's a chance to rebuild his reputation at one of the biggest clubs in the world.
It's incredible to think that Rashford went from being an outcast to dining with Barcelona's president Joan Laporta at a Michelin-starred restaurant. I mean, tuna belly, crab cannelloni, Wagyu beef? Talk about celebrating in style. But what does this move say about United's handling of their academy stars?
It's a damning indictment, Hannah. United have a proud history of nurturing academy players, think Giggs, Scholes, Beckham, and Rashford himself. But under Amorim, it feels like there's less patience for homegrown talent. Rashford was once valued at £100 million, and now he's on loan with a £26 million option to buy. Garnacho's price has dropped from £70 million to £40 million. It's a clear message: perform or you're out, no matter your history with the club. Amorim is backed by the new regime: Jason Wilcox, Omar Barada, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And they're giving him the reins to reshape the squad. But if Rashford or Garnacho thrive elsewhere, it'll be a PR disaster for United.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the new signings. Brian Mbuemo, Mateus Cunha, and Diego Leon. United have spent £140 million on them, and Amorim's banking on them to transform the team. Mbuemo and Cunha, in particular, are seen as versatile players who can play as strikers or in the number 10 roles. How do you see them fitting in?
Hannah, these signings are a statement of intent. Mbuemo, at £71 million from Brentford, brings Premier League proven quality, goals, assists, and work rate. Cunha, signed for £62.5 million from Wolves, is another dynamic forward who can play up top or behind the striker. Both chose United despite having Champions League options, which shows how much they believe in Amorim's project. Diego Leon's a bit of a wild card, a potential star, but still raw. Amorim's focus is on improving the connection between these players and existing strikers like Haaland and Zurki. If he can get that right, United's attack could be lethal.
Cunha's comments about pressure being a privilege really stood out to me. He seems to embrace the challenge of playing for United. And then there's Mason Mount, who's fighting for his place despite the new signings. He's confident he can hold down to spot in Amorim's 3-4-2-1 system. Can he do it, Gaffer?
Mount's got a mountain to climb, no pun intended. With Mbeumo and Cunha earmarked for the number 10 roles and Bruno Fernandes potentially dropping into a deeper number 6 position, the competition is fierce. But I love Mount's attitude. He's battled back from injuries, and his performances at the end of last season showed what he's capable of. He's versatile, works hard, and has that big game mentality from his Chelsea days. If he can stay fit and seize his chances, he could be a key player. But with 7 senior options for those number 10 spots, it's going to be a dogfight.
Speaking of Bruno Fernandes, Amorim's hinting at using him in a deeper role more often. That's a bold move, isn't it? Fernandes has been United's talisman in the number 10 position for years.
It's a fascinating tactical shift, Hannah. Amorim's logic makes sense. When Fernandes plays as a number 10, he sometimes struggles to get on the ball. Dropping him deeper into a number 6 role gives him more time and space to dictate play, especially with runners like Hojlund, Xerxes, and Mbeumo and Cunha ahead of him. Fernandes has the vision and passing range to thrive there, but it's a risk. United fans are used to seeing him further forward, creating chances and scoring screamers. If Amorim gets this wrong, it could disrupt the team's balance.
Let's talk about United's transfer priorities. Amorim's still looking for a new center forward, a deep-lying midfielder, and a goalkeeper, but he's warned about being careful with signings. They've already been rebuffed by Aston Villa for Ollie Watkins and Emiliano Martinez. What's the strategy here?
Amorim's playing the long game, Hannah. After last season's disaster, United's worst campaign in 51 years, he knows he can't afford to waste money on the wrong players. Watkins would have been perfect, a proven Premier League number 9 with pace, power, and goals. But Villa are standing firm, and £40 million for Martinez is a steep ask for a goalkeeper. United's focus now is on finding players who fit Amorim's system and want to be at the club. He's happy to start the season with the current squad if needed, which shows confidence in his existing players. But a top striker and a midfielder to complement Fernandes would take United to another level.
And let's not forget about the off-field changes. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's influence is clear. 450 jobs cut, a leaner staff on the U.S. tour, and a new performance chef, Will Carvalho, whose rice pudding is apparently a hit for the players. How important are these changes to United's rebuild?
They're massive, Hannah. Ratcliffe is streamlining the club, cutting costs, and creating a more professional environment. The days of bloated entourages on preseason tours are gone. Only 60 staff on this trip compared to 140 under Van Gaal. Carvalho's appointment might seem small, but keeping players fueled with high-quality meals is crucial for performance. It's all part of Amorim's vision, a lean, hungry, and disciplined United. The challenge is translating that into results on the pitch.
Let's wrap up with the big picture, Gaffer. United face West Ham in the Premier League Summer Series this Sunday at MetLife Stadium. It's a chance for Amorim to show fans what this new look United is all about. What are you expecting from this preseason, and what does success look like for United this season?
Hannah, this preseason is about laying down a marker. The West Ham game, followed by matches against Bournemouth and Everton, is a chance for Amorim to test his tactics and build chemistry among the new signings. I want to see energy, intensity, and a glimpse of his 3-4-2-1 system clicking. Success this season isn't just about trophies, although United fans will demand a challenge in the Cups. It's about top 4 finish, a clear identity, and players buying into Amorim's vision. If Rashford, Garnacho, or Sancho shine elsewhere, it'll sting. But if Amorim gets this right, United could be back among the elite.
Couldn't agree more, Gaffer. It's a pivotal season for Manchester United, and all eyes are on Ruben Amorim to deliver. That's all we've got time for today, folks. Thank you for tuning in to The Game On. Gaffer, as always, it's been a pleasure.
Cheers, Hannah. Let's see how this drama unfolds. Until next time, keep the faith, United fans.
Absolutely. We'll be back next week with more from the Premier League and beyond. This is Hannah Morales, signing off.